Yes, brother.
So, welcome
Perfect.
back to GSM episode 10. We are in the topic.
This
Mark.
is like Mark version 2.0 because I've got lumbar support. I'm really happy about it.
Yeah, the difference, you were just so
Oh my God.
angry in the last part of the episode, and now you're just like, I have lumbar
Oh,
support.
it's-
Yes!
It's literally night and day. Like, so I went from like slouching, was like, I'm slouching, I'm trying to get a good, better posture. Now I'm just like, fuck, this is great. Yes, happiness.
So, our topic for this week's episode, and the last topic for about 2 weeks, is holidays. Today is Mother's Day, the day that we're recording this.
Yes.
And, can't help but just kind of reflect on all holidays, on a random holiday like this, and be like, what ones are really pertinent anymore? And,
Well, and also it was Cinco de Mayo 3 days ago. Speaking of random, useless holidays.
it was also 420, I think a week or two ago. And
This is kind of ironic, 'cause I think in other countries, when they say on holiday, it's also vacation. So it's all very fitting.
how does that fit into it?
Because we're called the holidays, and I'm about to go on a holiday.
Nobody cares.
It's the
Anyway.
lumbar support. I can think clearly.
I don't
think
know.
better-
Anyway, so I'm fairly certain only the English call it on holiday.
Good job, them.
I don't know for sure. So anyway, actually, funnily enough, Devin was it was myself, Devin, and Jen playing Battleborn this week, and he was just like, "You guys are so weird. You like warm beer?" And she was like, "What are you talking about? We don't like warm beer." And he was like, "Oh." And I was like, Devin, you're doing the American thing where we hear it like once and we think it applies 100% of the time to 100% of Europe. And he was like, you're 100% right. And
I've never heard of... She's Finnish, right?
yeah.
Yeah, I've never heard of Finland liking warm beer. I know in, like...
Yeah,
you know,
yeah, like I think,
England.
yeah, like maybe once about England, and probably the
Yeah.
majority of them like cold beer too. So stupid generalizations. I really try to stay away from those as much as I can.
Sure.
So welcome to Ramble Entertainment. I'm Scott, and that one's Mark, and here we ramble about things we're not supposed to be talking about. Yeah. So holidays.
Yes.
Today's Mother's Day.
Happy
Now-
birthday. Jesus Christ. Happy Mother's Day, Mom.
Happy birthday. So, basically with this topic, I think a lot of it came, like discussing doing this topic, a lot of it came down to like, what's really a necessary holiday anymore? Like, what's necessary to get around people that you might not always want to be around? And
Not including my mom. Because I
It-
would like to be around her.
yes, my mom too, and my dad. In the grand scheme of things, I think Mother's Day and Father's Day are some of the most pertinent holidays on Earth. However, yeah, like Cinco de Mayo, as far as a Mexican holiday is concerned, is pertinent. As far as the American side of the holiday is a hot pile of crap.
Rubbish.
Yeah, like and like
That's what we do as Americans. We take what other people have, turn it into our own, and get drunk because of it.
And that's really the problem. Like, I don't want to be a hater. I don't want, want to be perceived as a hater. But,
Yeah.
like, if you want to generalize, a very American thing to do is to take any holiday, any random fucking holiday, Hanukkah, and just go drinking on it, and just being, you're not even Jewish, and you're just like, it's Hanukkah, I'm drinking.
And we got so many holidays we do. I mean, St. Patty's Day is a big one.
St.
Cinco de
Patty's
Mayo,
Day, yeah.
obviously. Halloween,
And-
it's Day of the Dead. But we're like, nope, we're going to be sluts and get wasted.
And like, as of late, Memorial Day, National
Yeah.
Cookout Day, as some people refer to it, and then some people on Facebook get really bent out of shape and be like, you're supposed to be, respecting veterans.
Yeah.
And I respect the side that, the people who, say, like, don't call it National Cookout Day.
Right.
But at the same time, I also respect the fact that American culture is and I hate to reference Idiocracy, the movie, but is kind of, just like a bunch of people just enjoying ignorance.
Yeah.
Oddly enough, we were just talking about that. And again, it kind of makes me want to reflect on these things. And
it's like we talked about St. Paddy's Day, because remember we made that a ramble topic, so we're just kind of dive a little bit deeper into it. But basically, shit. There goes my train of thought.
Well, like
it's what it was like during these holidays, like you want to try to know something about it, like Cinco de Mayo just happened, and I read like an article based on what it was about. What it was exactly, I cannot regurgitate it because I have a shitty memory. But it has to do with like between like the French
it's
in
basically
Mexico and
it's basically a Mexican Day of the Dead, if
right.
I'm not mistaken.
No, not Cinco de Mayo.
You want to fight about it?
No, it has to do there was like some sort of, there was like a war actually going on in some part of Mexico. The leader was, I don't fucking remember. Basically, they were fighting the French military, and they were very underrated. And
very nice article. You are correct.
Yeah. The Chive actually had like 2 postings about it, and I was like, well, see, educational. It's not just hot girls and funny things.
I mean. Like, at the end of the day, I don't feel like people need to educate themselves on these things, but also, like, I
just recognize it.
Really, for me, I think a lot of this is, like, what is just superfluous and shouldn't be called a holiday or shouldn't be called, like, there are plenty of days of remembrance, but they aren't holidays, where you take the day off or go out drinking or whatever. It's just a day, like... the day that the light bulb or the telegraph was invented, like these are days, of remembrance too. And, like, for me personally, a lot of holidays have been more about like Christmas. My birthday is on Christmas, fun fact. And I love just to know that I'm not going to see anybody except my parents and maybe some immediate family members or friends that I want to see. I don't want it to be this whole hullabaloo where I have to try and hullabaloo. I like that. I liked my own word. Good job, Scott. Thanks, Scott.
It's a good Muse album. Hullabaloo soundtrack.
I didn't know that was a. And so, like, I like the fact that I don't have to get together with family members to make small talk on that day. Like, we got it out of the way on Christmas Eve, but is Christmas Eve a pertinent holiday in the grand scheme of things? I do like that there is this whole season that kind of leads into these pair of days. Is Thanksgiving pertinent?
I would say yeah-ish. Again, it's that time of year, too. Like, Christmas and Thanksgiving and New Year's all kind of come in together.
Blend together.
Yeah. And, it's nice when you're working and you can get a couple days off, but also when you have to travel, it's a pain in the dick.
I mean, if I had to gauge them, if I had to pick one of those 3 or 4 that was, like, basically from pertinent to least pertinent, Christmas, then Thanksgiving, then Christmas Eve, then New Year's. I actually think New Year's is actually one of the least pertinent holidays ever. Because,
I'm starting to really fucking hate New Year's.
Now, how come?
Yeah, I was thinking about this on my way back down today from home. Like, I love it. We've just talked about things like how we, drink on holidays. We should, like, I'm the number one offender on that usually. Like, I was tanked on St. Paddy's Day, but Cinco de Mayo shouldn't do anything. And New Year's Eve, obviously, I like to have my New Year's Eve parties. But it's kind of funny because on New Year's, you feel like you have these expectations. At least I do usually. Maybe not a resolution per se, but you're like, okay, 2016, this is going to be it. This is going to be a good year. I'm going to do something. And this has been one of the worst years I've had in a long time. It's just like, it's so fucking disappointing because, and so, I don't really want to celebrate New Year's anymore and be like, I'm like, 2017 is going to be it because 2016 sucked.
Well, here's the real problem with New Year's. It is so arbitrary. It means nothing. Like, no religious meaning. It is the celebration of a calendar day that actually could technically be placed on any other day.
Technically, yeah.
And like the reset of our calendar could actually be in the middle of summer, and it wouldn't change anything.
Right.
And it's such an arbitrary thing. And I worked in a bar for about half a year, and I started near New Year's, and that was where it was really accentuated to me that, like, this is, again, so Americanized, where it's like every girl wanted to sparkle the most. And
glitter everywhere.
Just very shiny dress. Like, if the disco ball broke, you could just hang one of them up and spin them.
Not in a dead way, but just,
not in a dead way,
yeah. Just, a raptor or something.
Yeah. Or unwillingly, you just hang her by, like, the straps on her dress. But, like...
She's like, oh my god, I fell!
But, like, there are all these arbitrary meanings to it, as you were just saying, resolutions, looking the prettiest, like, finding, like, the love of your life and kissing them on New Year's. And, like, some are nice and sweet, but at the same time, like, it's just, like, that could be on any other day, and, like, it is a superfluous holiday. And I'm not saying that we shouldn't celebrate and we shouldn't have the day off. However, you look at something like Cinco de Mayo or Thanksgiving, even though I think Thanksgiving is a bit superfluous. Although I do put Thanksgiving... Christmas, Thanksgiving, New Year's, or Christmas Eve, and then New Year's. Thanksgiving is obviously the celebration of...
getting together and sharing.
The Indians coming to help those who settled in the colonies to basically fucking survive. And
then we slaughtered them.
Yeah, but I mean...
Let's give thanks.
There is still a good meaning in there that,
right.
We're thankful for basically survival. And then we went to war with those people. And... It was kind of a one-sided war. But then Cinco de Mayo, as you have obviously proven here, is about basically a victory over the French, where they were massively outgunned, and that's more important in a sense, and perhaps should be more preserved or more lifted up than New Year's. I don't know what we should actually do with these superfluous holidays, but I just want to talk about them.
They're interesting, and like it's kind of funny. For some reason, as of recently, it seems like every day has a certain holiday intact to it, like National Cookie Day, National Pizza Day, National
Girlfriend Day. Where'd that one come from? I thought it was Sweetest Day.
I'm sure there is one. Yeah, Sweetest Day and Valentine's Day. I mean, maybe I'm bitter about it. I realize these days are designed for a reason. It's either raise awareness about something or to show appreciation. Like we had said, readjusting.
Yep.
Like Mother's Day and Father's Day, like important because it's a day you need to show some extra, I don't know, not respect, appreciation for your parents. Not that they deserve it every fucking day.
Some suck and don't deserve it at all.
That's true too. So or sad to say, people who don't have their parents anymore. It's also kind of probably like a pit in the stomach feels like, oh well, can't celebrate this right now. But it's.
Keep going. Skype did the thing again.
What is it? Taking a shit on me?
No, look, it's got this bar underneath it.
Oh,
that wasn't even there when we started.
Why is it doing that? Where was I going with that? I feel like my thoughts lately, like I just kind of like I get on a roll and then I just start repeating myself, trying to reiterate for no reason, and then just lose the end game of what I'm trying to talk about.
So, like on my side of it, like Valentine's Day I can respect, and we'll adjust you. You know what? Fuck it. I'm going to leave it. This show has been a mess, this one. So hopefully we come back with a lot better audio and visuals.
Damn amateurs.
Valentine's Day I can at least respect. Do I subscribe to it? Does Jen subscribe to it? Absolutely not. Neither of us do that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually assembling a package for her right now that I hate you. And I'm so happy Skype was breaking up when you said that. So, like, I'm assembling, you know, a box of goodies to send to her, and there's no occasion to it. I just love her, and I'm sending this to her.
Bitches love random gifts.
Yeah, don't call my girlfriend a bitch.
Term of endearment.
I know.
She's a bitch.
She's gonna watch this, by the way.
She's not a bitch. I'm just being me. It's fine.
I know. She knows. And I subscribe to the mentality that you don't need a specific day to show that you care about someone. And in fact, if you do, you're probably not doing a good job in that relationship.
Mm-hmm.
If you need 2 days out of the year to, you know, show it, then so like both of those days can kind of go for me.
Mm-hmm.
But I can respect Valentine's Day, where it's just like, hey, you're both really busy most of the time.
Right.
Make some time on this day to, you know, like, do your thing. Julie, do the thing.
Yeah.
And yeah, like, you know, like, if you want to do good in your relationship, like, one of those can go if, you know, definitely if you need both of those too.
Well, I think Valentine's Day is definitely more celebrated than Sweetest Day, and really it's just same thing-ish. I don't know. But, you know, like you say, if both, you know, people are busy, you know, you can be like, well, it's Valentine's Day. Let's take a day or two off work. Let's get out of here. Let's get a hotel somewhere different, you know. I think that it can be designed for that, which is nice. Because you can't really do that in the middle of the week, you know. But, you know, like what you're doing with Jen, like sending a care package randomly, like, or sending flowers or leaving a note for something like that. Like, you should do that on the regular if you really care about somebody, you know.
Give her candy. Give him candy. You know, like, it's not. It's also not a one-way street where it's just you know, like, should only be, you know, like, the guy should always be doting on the girl. Like, girls out there, you can do a good job, too. And...
stuff.
And, with those... Halloween. For me, Halloween has gotten to the point where it is one of the most superfluous holidays.
Oh, it's outrageous. You know, I get it for kids, you know.
Exactly.
Going out, dressing up, getting candy... fun and games, literally. As an adult, it's still widely celebrated, and I do still celebrate it, you know, in that way. Is it necessary? Absolutely not.
There are so many more pertinent holidays where it's just like a lot of people don't do anything on the 4th. And the 4th is actually technically, you know, has some major meaning behind it. And obviously, you know, the holidays we really give the most meaning to aren't, you know, the most celebrated. But there are some that it's just like, it's just another, like, at least for America, drinking holiday. And that does still permeate into a lot of the other first world because we produce a lot of the first world's entertainment. And, of course, you know, entertainment is... how, you know, what we kind of like to shape our lives around. And yeah, Halloween's a big one that can go for me because it just, I feel like it's a holiday almost built around kind of dramas and just stereotypes where it's just like, look at all the girls, you know, dressing up in scantily clad costumes because it's an excuse.
I think it takes a slightly different turn, I think, after college. Or at least, you know, when you're like mid to late 20s. You know, I've attended a few Halloween parties, you know, in my late 20s compared to my college years. In the college years, of course, it's always just, you know, I'm a cat. And you're like, you're wearing a yarn. Like, no, you're not. Shut the fuck up.
You're wearing a bra, panties, and a tail and cat ears.
Exactly.
But
you know, like as an adult, like it's kind of fun for me to assume a slightly different persona. And have I done it every year? No. One of my favorite Halloween costumes. You ever seen Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas?
Yes. You and I watched it together.
Did we?
Like 5 times.
Shit. Well, I was Hunter S. Thompson one year. Like it was just
I remember that. Fun. You were really proud of it.
I still am.
You showed me
I
pictures.
still have the costume. I will do it again. But you know, it was fun, like assuming that persona. And I was at a party with other adults that were like mid to late 20s, but it wasn't like, look how slutty I am as a cat.
Here's the thing, and I want to break you off because of two points. You always have to respect the intelligent costume.
Yes.
You know, like when a girl goes out of her way, especially a girl, I feel like, because it's always so much about like, is she sexy? You know, but like when a girl goes out of her way to do an intelligent and good costume, like that's when you really gotta respect it. And I feel like that's also, you know, like just this. It's a stupid one-way street because like we don't put that on guys, you know, but
we're not out there wearing Speedos and attaching tails.
But the whole schema of Halloween can literally be picked up and put in any party night.
Yeah.
Where it's just like, this is a fucking costume party. And it's just
exactly.
like, it, as an adult, it makes the rest of it just superfluous. And it makes it just a drinking holiday. And, like, I get it. You know, like, people enjoy having a reason to go out, have fun, and drink. But... does there have to be an entire holiday centered around it where people are going to go get drunk and get in car accidents and, you know, like, just do stupid things and commit crime?
Or throw up or puke their brains out.
Yeah, like that kind of stuff is really a lot of a problem with these. And at the same time, like, you can also apply such concept to, like, Christmas Eve, where it's just like you got together and you exchanged gifts and you had a meal and you had small talk. Shouldn't you have done that
a while
the day
ago?
after?
Yeah.
Like I like that my Christmas with my family is on Christmas Eve, and then Christmas Day is just me and my parents because I live with them.
Yeah.
For all the YouTube comment haters out there who say, get a job and get out of your parents' house, go watch episode 7 because I live in pain, jackasses. And
that was actually really sexual when you got really close to my ear like that. It was,
yeah, we were doing this on 0 frames per second. Maybe this is just how we should podcast, where I only have one eye and I just look at you sensually.
You ever watch those videos where it's just girls whispering?
Yeah, you know, they were
really creepy.
Yeah, it is. I can't get into that stuff.
But I guess people really can't get off to it because they hit like a, I don't know. Like
it's basically kind of another one of those chemical responses in the brain that only certain people get, kind of thing.
I'm getting a chemical response right now.
But it's not in your brain, is it?
Maybe.
Anyway. So, like... I like that Christmas Eve is, you know, like an option, but at the same time, it's just like some people still pick up Christmas and move it to like the weekend, you know, after Christmas.
My family's been doing
Christmas.
that like before Christmas,
and it's just like, if that's the case, I mean, like, I like that, you know, there are these designated days off, but like. Then what's the point of the holiday? You know, like, shouldn't it just be, you have this week off, execute your Christmas?
That'd be nice. I mean, the problem, like, first-handedly experiencing that, like, having my Christmas between, like, my parents and my sister being moved to a weekend is, you know, a result of, one, my being out of town, and two, my sister having kids, and also, you know, my in-laws' family, and it's just, like, unfortunately, because I'm still, you know, I'm single, don't have kids, don't have in-laws to have to, you know, try to see. I know, bizarre. And so it's just like an evolution of the holiday when things kind of get askew. Because, you know, when I was little, it was always like so much fun and awesome. It was like, on Christmas morning, we did this at my parents' house, and went to my grandparents' house and my cousins. Well, there's like 4 cousins that might show up anymore out of the 8 of us, and, you know, 2 or 3 of them all now have like in-laws, so it's just not the same. So things evolve, and I also think that, you know, that's kind of what happens, I think, with something like Halloween and 4th of July, is that, you know, let's say, you know, Halloween starts off with, you know, kids are going out, then maybe when you're like in your early 30s, you're like, okay, while the kids are doing this, let's have some drinks, and then college crowd might get involved in that, and then it evolves into a giant party, just like 4th of July. You know, it's like, let's, you know, come on over, let's have a cookout and light off some fireworks, and then, you know, one beer turns into 24. And I think that's what happens, is just like these holidays end up evolving into something where it is a bit disconnected from what its true meaning is.
And I mean, the idea of the gathering and having a reason for that gathering, I think, is always going to be there. But the one thing I was actually talking to my brother about this Mother's Day, and actually on the most recent holiday, which I think was Easter, is that I think also, you know, we are one of the first generations that will start to see gift giving become faux pas. The reason I bring this up is because, Mom and Dad, if you're watching this, stop. My parents are coming upon, you know, a pinnacle anniversary, and basically, you know, like, we're having trouble, like, what do we give them? My parents have done well enough that they can basically, if they want something, they just provide for themselves. And, you know, even the same can be said for my... you know, some of my other siblings. They've done very well for themselves, and there are others within the first world that just do the same thing, and it's just like, what do you get these people? You know, like, I don't ask for much. Why? Because I don't really need much, because I don't do much with my life. What do you get for me? You know, the things I also want are kind of digital because I'm a gamer. So, like, a lot of my games I want are just digital. Don't get me a physical copy because, for some reason, that's somehow a pain in the ass to actually remove a disc and put a disc in.
Oh, God damn, why would you use that kind of energy for that?
Yeah, such life. But, like, even with movies... a lot of you know, like, oh, well, just get me Amazon because if there are movies I want, I can just get them, or a show I want, you know, things like that. And and you know, you look at kids. I've got nieces and nephews, and they're very attached to their Wi-Fi devices, or their, you know, their 4G or LTE devices, or 3G for some of the older ones. You know, where it's just like they're doing a lot of digital things, digital games on your mobile devices, and it's just like, what do you get them? And
gift cards?
Yeah, and it's just like, gift cards have such a stigma where it's just like, do you really want to be the one who got that for them? And I
didn't know what else to get you, so here you go.
I do think will persist with, you know, maintaining particular holidays, but I think much like we've seen with, like, weddings or, like, very, very large birthday parties, they just don't sit down and open all the gifts, you know, like they'll open them later because it's faux pas to open the gifts in front of people, and they just send out thank yous, or the gift giving just doesn't happen. Or, you know, like, this is just a time where we give that person money. Yeah.
That's what I do at weddings. Like, I don't like people bridal registries. I'm like, fuck that. You're gonna get cash.
Yeah, like it's. I feel like I'm literally, you know, I've become an adult in a time where we're starting to see less and less gift giving because it's tough.
Yeah, it is, and I don't know, there's like a weird pressure to it. You know, it's just like, oh, what do I have to get them? What are they gonna get me? And I don't know, like. I like giving things to people,
and I don't think it will go away. It will be very much more a personal experience, like boyfriend to girlfriend, husband to wife, brother to brother. You know, very very good friend to very very good friend.
Yes, I have nothing to say.
That's just my feelings on it.
What else about holidays can we discuss?
I mean, I'm fine with everything we've already said. I feel like I've put out there that Halloween and New Year's are pretty shitty and pointless, and Christmas is my favorite, but actually most of the time it doesn't matter what order it's done in. No matter what, at some point around Christmas, I'll get together with my family, and the following next day, I don't want to see any of my family, like, except for the people who are in my household, and it's just like, that's it. Like, it actually doesn't matter if it was Christmas Eve and we did nothing, and then Christmas Day is family time, and then the next day is nothing. Like, that's fine.
It's fine.
Because... Because technically the actual date of the holiday outside of religious meaning doesn't matter.
Right.
Whereas, like the celebration stays the same no matter where you put it. I kind of like the cold atmosphere. You know, it makes it feel homely, and I love the decorations. And,
right.
Whereas with again with Halloween, you just pick that up and just pepper it wherever the hell you want.
Guys, I have a costume party next weekend.
There's this costume party at this bar downtown.
Exactly.
St. Patty's Day, Cinco de Mayo American version. 420.
That is not a holiday. I'm sorry.
It's not. Most of them aren't, but it's just a funny thing to point all this out. Like, it's fun to talk about.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of people just don't really, like, really sit down and just think about it for a minute and be like, why do we do this? Why this day? Why that day? Am I getting anything out of it? Then anymore, I love my family, like parents, grandparents, whatever. Like I was home for Mother's Day this weekend, but as with more people that go on, like as the family expands, like I feel like there's just less time spent, and it's just like I think I might have talked to my grandparents for maybe 10 minutes, 20 tops this weekend. It's just like, now I'm thinking about them, we're kind of bummed, but it's just like that's how it is. Like, because then they're also occupied with great grandkids now and trying to socialize with everybody else, and it's just like, well, shit. But I'm also like expected to be there, and it's just like for what reasons?
There's that generational gap there, which makes it hard to talk about things.
I love my grandparents and stuff. Like, it's nothing against that. It's just you don't. There's just so much going on, and like
there's an expectation of small talk, but like I'm not going to sit down with my siblings and talk about what we're doing here because
they may not care.
They don't they might not care. They might not get it. Like I don't talk about my situation because again, it's that thing of like they just don't get it, and it's.
It's kind of funny, like the small talk and stuff. It's like when I told you I was in a funk Saturday yesterday.
Actually, I text you about mine. Sorry, it's weird.
Like, I was out and
our funks of the month aligned.
It's like our man periods. But I got a lot of like, how you doing? I was just like,
oh wow,
that right now I'm in a funk and just gonna make it worse. Shut the fuck up.
That's where like people need to know to pull their words. Where it's just like, are you okay? It's just like, well, not anymore.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know why it wasn't. It was just like I thought being around my family would kind of pull me out of it a little bit, but it didn't. It was almost like made it a little bit worse. I don't know why. Until I went out with my cousin Riley, which was a fun time, just shooting the shit. So like I said, if it wasn't for, I didn't say this, but I'm reflecting on it. If it wasn't for the holiday of Mother's Day and getting together, with the family with the expectations, I wouldn't have gone out and had a good time. So, things balanced themselves out nicely there, and I
mean, at the end, like, there's no great truth here. Holidays are important, but at the same time, when you sit down and look at them, it's just like,
they're kind of silly.
That's kind of stupid.
National Gatorade Drinking Day. Cheers.
I'm sure something like that exists.
Probably.
So, this was just kind of another one of those fun topics just to sit here and just kind of ramble, because ramble entertainment. So, Mark, we'll catch you in about 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and I will persist with these audio issues through coming times. Do you have anything you really want to close on?
Not really. This was a nice topic. I liked it. I mean, it's just kind of silly.
Yeah, it had some bounces, but at the same time, it was just nice to kind of be like, this sucks, and I'm glad I'm saying that on video.
I kind of like not having a defined point to talking about something. It's just a discussion.
That's always been kind of the point, is just to have conversation and not reach a conclusion. But there have been times where we reach a conclusion and it feels good, or sometimes it's just kind of like, oh, that conclusion sucked. Oh, I have to go sit in a corner and cry.
Whoever watches this will then think about it too, like, hey, those guys might, you're onto something.
I mean, it's basically just, having, like, the talks that, like, so, we brought up siblings, and here will be my kind of concluding point. Like, for me and my family, and I think all of my siblings recognize this, because even, I sat down with my brother back in college and had, like a deeper conversation, and it was nice to be able to do that, but ever since then, not too much. But yeah, amongst my siblings, amongst my, with my parents, we just don't have the hard conversations, and
right.
You and I always have, and I think it's nice to put that in front of people.
Yeah.
Like, because I know people do it, but not everybody does it. And
yeah, some people don't know how to approach topics like this, and, something silly like this, like,
oh, you can't shit on my holiday. It's no meaningful to me.
Ah! Salutes.
Hey, man, my National Cookout Day is important to me. So... yeah, so, Mark, it's been good. See you in a couple of weeks. Don't die.
Yes, I'll try not to.
Try hard. And, yeah.
Yes.
I hope you guys enjoyed the 10th episode of Great Scott Marcus. As I continue to say, we're working through our quality issues so that we can present a better show's product to you guys out there. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, share if you feel so inclined. It means a lot to us in our small state as we are.
Yes.
Hey, it's me. I'm small down here. Ha! I'm never going to do that again.
Dad joke, everybody. Yay.
Boo.
I know.
Have a good one, guys. And
bye,
remember,
do good things.